To the woman at work who yelled, "He was never a lover," after I left the building, I have the following to say to you. You are sexually slandering me and thus sexually harassing me. You do not live, we do not live in an Alice in Wonderland world where words mean whatever we want them to mean. Words have well-defined meanings that follow well-defined rules of the language. In English, a word with an ER ending means one who does the activity defined by the base word. For example, a bowler is one who bowls, and a hunter is one who hunts. A man who bowls with an average of 100 is still a bowler, just not a very good bowler. A man who has a 150, 200, or 250 bowling average might be considered a good bowler, great bowler, or exceptional bowler. Similarly, any man who loves women and seeks to make women happy is in fact a lover of women. The truth is, the majority or vast majority of men are lovers of women. To deny that fact is to sexually slander the male gender. Some men are more skilled at making women happy than other men and should be called skilled lovers of women. Still others are exceptionally skilled in making women happy and may be considered great lovers of women. The legal definition of sexual harassment includes the phrase repeated verbal abuse of a sexual nature. When abusive women in the work environment gossip about a man in a negative way, then it is sexual harassment. The truth is that I am far more than a mere lover. I have proven myself to be a highly skilled lover of women. I spent over 20 years at bars, going to bars 1 to 3 nights a week. I danced with thousands of women and shared pleasure with hundreds of women. The good and loving women at bars that I shared dances, pleasure, and sex with called me a lover. The opinions of women who have direct experience with a man and share pleasure with him is far more important than the lies of man-hating radical feminists who tell sexual lies about men out of sexual hatred of men. You claim to base your opinion on what, quote, everyone says, unquote, but inside your mind you define the word everyone to mean only the man-hating radical feminists who were sexually lying about me. The good and loving women at bars that shared dances, pleasure, and sex with me called me a lover. The good men in the work environment that respected me for making women happy called me a lover. So, you were in fact lying when you claimed to base your opinion on what everyone said. Believing and repeating sexual lies about someone is a form of sexual harassment that many women are guilty of. Men are victims of sexual harassment at work far more often than women are because man-hating radical feminists often sexually slander men. When evil man-hating radical feminists sexually slander a man for making good and loving women at bars happy, they prove by their actions that they do not want men to be lovers of women, and they especially do not want men to get credit and respect for being lovers of women. They play a sexually abusive game. First, they constantly slander, threaten, and punish a man for being a lover at bars in order to inhibit him from being a lover in the work environment. Then, because they inhibit him in the work environment, they say, see, he is not a lover because he is inhibited from being a lover at work. The truth is, man-hating radical feminists would never acknowledge that a man is a lover, no matter what he did, when in fact the majority of men are lovers of women. Society must never allow those with prejudice and hatred of a group of people to judge the worth of any member of that group. A man-hating radical feminist judging whether a man loves women or not is like a black-hating white supremacist judging whether a black man is as smart as white people or not. If society allows black men to be racially slandered by white racists, then society allows the racial abuse of black men. If society allows men to be sexually slandered by female sexists, then society allows the sexual abuse of men. For over 20 years at bars, I offered and gave women the dances, pleasure, and sex that they wanted. On the weekend, I might dance with 20 or more women, share pleasure with some, and perhaps have a one-night stand. Come Monday at work, I would hear evil, militant women slandering me for giving the good and loving women at bars the pleasure and sex that they wanted. On the weekend, I might pick up a woman at a bar, spend the night with her, and share sex with her several times. But come Monday at work, I would hear evil militant women slander me for daring to give good and loving women at bars the pleasure and sex that they wanted. Also, As an example, I remember one time when I went to a Chicago Cubs game and went to a bar after the game. I scanned the women at the bar till I found a woman in the desire mood that I was looking for. I met her and danced with her as part of a celebration of the Cubs' win that day. I acted on her body language signals and felt her body and kissed her while we were dancing. When she left, a man asked her what we were doing. She told him, quote, "We were just having fun," unquote. I happened to mention to some men at work that I met a woman at the Cubs bar and kissed her while we were dancing. Some men complimented my behavior to some women. In response, an evil, in, where is that at? Okay. In response, an evil militant woman said he forced himself on her. When it was mentioned that she enjoyed it and complimented me, the evil militant woman said he should have done more. The woman did not want me to do more. So doing more would have been forcing myself on her. Thousands of times I have heard evil militant women at work sexually lie about me and sexually slander me for giving good and loving women at bars the pleasure and sex that they wanted. They did not stop at slander. Some of the same women who slandered me for being a lover at bars also worked to economically punish me for being a lover at bars. They opposed me for getting a raise or being promoted. They sought to have me rated lower and be laid off my job. They economically punished me for giving good and loving women at bars the pleasure and sex that they wanted. Do you honestly want to know the truth? Or do you want to continue to live in the la-la land of believing what you want to believe? Do you honestly want to see the truth? Then open your eyes and see the truth. In the Scum Manifesto, a militant lesbian wrote that militant lesbians in the women's movement would beat up heterosexual men and women for the crime of being heterosexual. They say that all men are rapists and all heterosexual sex is rape. Thus, they are in a war to end all heterosexual sex. Stop believing their sexual lies about heterosexual men. When good and loving women at bars call a man a lover, and militant lesbians say that he is not, then know that militant lesbians are liars. When they opposed my book in class to end the rape of women, they proved that they are on the side of rape. When they themselves rape other women in the women's movement, they prove that they are the enemies of women. Like men who rape women, they share the rapist sexual values of sexual hatred, lust for power, and vengeance. Be on the side of women, not on the side of the militant lesbian rapist enemies of women. If you join them in opposing me in my work to end the rape of women, then you are on the side of rape. If you honestly love women, then you will support me and my work to help women. If you love women, then you will support me.